Okay, so welcome back from the break. You're watching a TMC review here on Metro TV. Today is Tuesday, and of course, we talk gospel, the gospel industry. And today we are blessed to have two gentlemen here. One is a senior man. One is a senior man, and he attended the best university in Ghana. That's University of Cape Coast. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the evergreen. Sorry, Pastor. Pastor EUGENE ZUTA. Yes, he is here with us. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, the last time I saw you was a wedding in my church.
Okay.
Yeah, New Life Community Baptist Church.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's family.
Family, yeah.
That's family.
And also this gentleman who's joined us for the second time on the table, a brother from way back. And he's got something amazing coming up. Gospel musician, vocal coach, is everything. TMC Musique.
Bro.
Welcome to the table of life.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And this afternoon we're talking about, we got this topic so we could merge, Pastor EUGENE ZUTA and TMC, the younger and the, the relatively older generation.
Yeah.
And
just say, no apologies.
and on Facebook, if you follow the writings of EUGENE ZUTA, for some of us, we've not grown one bit. It looks like that. So we're talking about sustaining one's relevance in the gospel space in the country. His perspective, the perspective of TMC, who is younger in the industry, and all of us will get to have our mindset or whatever we think about that on the show. We are live on Facebook at Metro TV Ghana and also DSTV channel 277. So, gentlemen, welcome once again. Great. So, let me begin with you, Pastor ZUTA. You have been around for a very, very long time. What has been the changes of nowadays that you find, okay, so what is this that's happening in that gospel space?
Well, I think that for me, it's been the need to always be in the face of people on social media. Okay. I find it a bit challenging because when we began, you'll be in your small space, your small corner, so you could just take your time and work. I mean, there was no pressure on you. You could take time and you grow, you build the right foundations. But now it looks like relevance is equal to being in the face of people every given second. And what I've realized, the shortfall of that is that it does not give you the opportunity to build deep roots. And then you just get out there. And being in the public space or being popular can be a very messy thing. Because a lot of things are thrown at you. And especially for those of us in the gospel music scene, we are dealing with not just a physical industry, but you are dealing with also a spiritual kind of influence. And so if you don't get the time to build the right kind of defenses, you rise so quickly and quickly you fall.
That's very interesting. And you have also been writing about the starting, so the deeper roots you're talking about. The first time you started this gospel thing, which will be which year? The laughter.
Question.
Okay. So I would say that the first time I actually stood in front of church to sing a solo was in 1993.
Oh my word.
Okay, that's fine. 1993.
Yeah, it was in 1993.
He wasn't born, by the way.
Yeah, I'm actually 44 this year.
Wow.
Yes, so it's been a journey. It's been a journey, and we were in church. We were actually going through the entire discipleship process, which was not a one-day wonder, and because some of us did not get the opportunity to actually go to school to become musicians, we had informal tutoring in the church setting. So you had the benefit of building up your Christian theology and also learning to be a musician. And so you grew with it. You had the hard knocks by your youth leaders, and pastor will call you and blast you. He will ask you, okay, you are not singing this week for the next 1 month because you are misbehaving. Sit out, that kind of thing. And that's the way some of us were trained. Yes.
When that happens now, it's a lot of trouble, though. But TMC, now to you, and of course, Nanaya and Helen will be coming in. As you decided to get into this space, what were some of the things that people in your life, like Pastor EUGENE ZUTA, who had seen this before, who have gone through that tunnel before, what are some of the things that they told you before, you got into this thing?
I think it's got to do with your purpose and vision and the motive behind which you want to come out. And I think that is going to be a pivot and a trigger to how you manage your social media. I'm a social media person. I love to post. I love to post my pictures and everything. But then there's something that I learned very well from our fathers and our mothers or who are already in the gospel industry. And I think one thing that I can say concerning that is that anything that comes, especially when it comes to, with regards to, let's say, technology, like now we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have TikTok, we have Snapchat. I believe that they are all good media to promote the gospel, but at the same time, there's a popular statement that says that the enemy of ministry is ministry. So at the same time, even though it's helping to promote, I think in a way that's taking our attention to the self more than the essence with which you want to promote the, let's say, your message. So like what Papa was saying, now we've become more of social media focused, such that we've lost the content, you know. So sometimes even when you post something and maybe it has not really got into the, I'm not saying it's wrong.
You've not got in the likes like that.
Yeah. You, it's like you are so perturbed more than, let's say, the impact. You know, so I think it's a thin line, and if you're able to manage it well, it will really be a good advantage to us. Yes, yeah. So I think that's what I can say.
What would be relevance to you? What is relevance to you? Is it having a hit song? You know, being the one that they talk about every single day? What would be the definition of that for you?
I think relevance has got to do with impacting lives and making sure that the essence with which the message is supposed to be, you know, delivered has really been accomplished, and God is happy. Mainly, if God is pleased with what you've done, I think then you're being relevant. Yeah, because sometimes you can be relevant in front of people, you know, because man judges, you know, by appearance, but God judges from the heart. So you may seem to be appearing, you know, well accepted all over the place, but in the eyes of God, you're not accepted. So at that point in time, you're not being relevant. You're just being probably a signboard or, you know, something like that. So yeah.
But you can also be relevant, like you're saying.
Right.
But then again, if you are out there and people don't really know you, people have not really heard about you, and you are not a signboard, how can you even impart? How can you even be sustainable in the society?
So that's the thing. So whilst you're being a signboard, you need to make sure that you don't lose your motive behind it.
Right.
Yes. So you are directing people, but at the end of the day, were you directing the people to yourself, or you were directing people to the essence of the ministry? That's the most important thing. Yeah. So that, because when the motive changes, it will trigger how you react to so many things.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's what I can say. But Papa is here.
Yeah, I mean, I like how the conversation is going good. So this is about the self as a gospel musician, which is very important.
Yeah.
Now to the music part.
Yeah.
You are from a generation of 1993 that lots of things have changed, and also part of a generation that probably brought contemporary gospel music, you know, around for people like TMC to like and get into that space. And till now, we mentioned EUGENE ZUTA, and we know the Okasa and all of those songs. How do you, apart from the spiritual part of being a gospel musician, the music bit, how do you stay relevant with all the changes that come in each year?
Right. It's a lot to take in, and I wish I have a whole year to explain this.
Which I know that you write that on Facebook.
But I believe that relevance for a Christian minister or a Christian ministry is the ability of the minister or the ministry to resonate at the same frequency of God for a given time.
Okay.
So we will all not be in the public space at the same time.
Yeah.
There will be a time God will give you a particular assignment to go and perform. When you go and perform that, He would that assignment is sometimes not for a crowd. Sometimes just for a few people. So not many people may hear of you at that point in time, but those people you have been sent to in that season will hear about you. And so you are agreeing with God to do that assignment. So you are relevant to God.
Right.
Because you are fulfilling the assignment to the people. Now, there are certain times also God would expose you to a large crowd and a large following. There are times God will hide you. So relevance is not determined by popularity.
Great.
Because you can still be popular, but in the things of God, you are irrelevant. You become a signboard. So I do this. This is what I do. I allow my relationship with God to determine my activity in the industry.
Okay.
I allow my relationship with God. So I check what season. I don't release a song because I have a song or because I want people to know that EUGENE ZUTA is still having. No. I release a song because I have a burden for a particular season that this body of work or this song is needed by somebody, and I put it out there. And then I also do my part in ensuring that as much as depends on me, all the available channels where the song can be disseminated are actually engaged to do so. Then I leave the rest to the one who sent me.
Okay.
That's what I've done.
Okay.
And sometimes, to the extent that even you go to the studio, you pray into a production, you go to the studio, and you have a leading that, okay, this song, per the industry things at the moment, if you do it this way, it will hit pound.
Okay.
Then you are led that, okay, don't do it this way. You do it the way you receive the song.
Okay.
Even the engineer sometimes will think that this guy here is not correct. But the way the song is even produced will determine who it will appeal to.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so if God is behind that, he's dictating everything. We forget about the rest and then trust God
To do the rest.
to do the rest. Many times,
Right.
because of just changing the way you should have done it, it means you will not even win an award.
Yeah.
But you would have been awarded by God. And that's for me is most important.
There are a lot of potholes I want to put in.
Put in the bottles. Let's go.
Okay, I'll reserve the challenging bits, and if it has reduced the quality bits to later on. But then from what you said, as in the time and season and everybody getting their opportunity, does it mean that certain musicians, gospel musicians who were relevant back then, do not have the opportunity now to come back and be as relevant as they used to be back then?
There are thousands who are still relevant. CeCe Winans, for example, has been there for years.
Yeah.
But if you watch CeCe's life and her ministry, you notice that there are times she's off season. In our minds, there are times she's off season.
Off season, okay.
And there are times she's on season. Will you say she's not been relevant?
She's sort of like on and off.
In terms of industry.
Yes, in terms of industry. Yes.
So in our eyes, we say that at the moment she's
She's
not
not
relevant.
relevant. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So it is not in when the moment we say gospel music, then when we say Christian music, then the measurement of success does not depend on industry.
Okay.
It depends on the values of the gospel.
Okay. And also, sometimes we feel when it comes to gospel, they already have diehard fans. So they can go, or it's not like that. They don't have diehard fans. So are you trying to say that, let's say, Esther Smith
Yes.
comes back and gives a hardcore music, and Newman comes back, wouldn't the diehard fans still be there? Embrace the
You will be shocked.
Really?
You'll be shocked.
Wow.
Because you see, unlike secular,
Yeah.
Sarkodie can come anytime. Oh no, I shouldn't use Sarkodie. Or Brafo, Lord Kenya, TikTok. They can come and they'll still get their fans.
Yeah.
So why can't it happen in the gospel space?
I don't know what TMC will
Okay,
say. Let's give it a go and I'll come.
I think Papa has to answer this. This is like,
I mean, he's spoken, so maybe he's put his thoughts together. But really, for someone who's getting into the industry like this, and you're hearing about relevance, you know, sometimes you may have a hit song or the song that everybody will be talking about. Other times, it may not be like that, as he said, as a gospel minister.
Okay.
You may be hiding a little bit. So, how have you prepared yourself to make sure that even in those spaces, you will not be perturbed by people saying that, oh, TMC, why you? Say again.
Those diehard fans, and for me, I was thinking gospel does not have that problem because of the traditional gospel worship songs and everything. Their fans are already there. No matter, or maybe a couple might have passed away and all that. But then, no matter what, if Esther Smith is to drop a song now, or maybe years, or Mercy.
Yeah. Or last week we had Moses okay.
Good. We had Moses okay.
I don't know. This thing is actually very debatable. Yeah. So I'm trying to just sieve my words well, so that I don't
talk about it.
But then, if I'm to shift a little bit into the music industry, like typical, I have been in the music industry. I mean, as a music director, you know, and vocal coach, blah blah, and all of that. And this is what I have realized in terms of the music. When people, or let's say your target market, when the target market is not hearing from you for a very long time, they see you as, okay, you're not really doing anything again.
Okay.
So the attention you got from them will be shifted to another place.
Okay.
So with time, it gets to a point in time that when you release a song, I could say, okay, help me, Lord.
Guide me,
so I could say for a fact, okay, that there are some people who were, if they should release a song right now, like it would be all over the place.
Yeah.
But after a while, maybe 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, people are not really hearing from them. Now, when they come back into the scene, it's like that bit of that massive support is not there anymore.
Okay.
But we've had the likes of Obapa Christie go off and then return.
Yeah.
So what she did,
Okay.
so what I have realized that some of them do is
Even
that
Pacey Esther.
Yeah.
Right.
what I realize that some of them do, okay, is that they try to look at how to promote the song with regards to the, let's say, there's a word I'm trying to remember, with regards to, let's say, what is happening at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, in the music industry. So let's say there's this particular line that if the message should pass through, it would, reach
Resonate to people,
Yeah.
and then
Or maybe if I get this person on board. Personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But like in the field of belief, maybe some may say that you need to be led.
Right.
In as much as you want to maybe put this one on, what's the essence? At the end of the day, what's your goal?
Like who's the guy of the moment?
Yeah,
Yes,
who's the guy?
and-
So
exactly.
feature plays a part one.
Okay, yes, it does.
Okay.
But when you do those
And
things,
also,
it's like,
like,
Yeah, very
then
debatable.
I'm allowed to say that the way YMEA is everywhere.
Okay.
There's one thing that is catching people's attention. It's the music video.
Well, that's actually
could say
one.
also-
When you
So-
when you gather a lot of comments, a lot of people are actually talking about the video.
Because of the
The
video.
video actually kind of like draws an architectural picture of what the song is about.
right,
Okay.
because
Yeah,
she's
so
portraying the
so
message.
the, whilst you are watching the video, the lyrics playing,
Yeah.
Right.
and at the end of the day, you see how it moves from this scene to the other scene, and then the verse, "I be denyame," you're like, wow.
Yeah.
That's
So for that, we can say that she's been off for a long time, but then realized what is
She studied
trending.
the terrain.
Good, study the terrain
And
and
came
realize
back
that
on
let me hit it from this side.
Could it also be that when she went off the system
Yeah,
for a
for a
while,
minute, yeah.
she went into a time of prayer and
Right.
communion with God, and then God told her that, my daughter,
Your
Yeah,
time
you
will
see,
be
now that you are coming back, I want you to do the song this way,
Okay.
and then do the video
this way. Okay.
Okay.
And so in this discussion, I want us to look at it on both ends and have a balance.
Right.
That for us in the gospel music industry, there is the God part and there is the industry part.
Right,
Okay.
And always the God part must influence how you play in the industry.
Okay.
There are people who can be off for 100 years and they will come back and based on what God has given them, assignment God has given them for a particular season, they will come and take, in our terms of industry, over the space.
Yeah.
And there are others who were doing so great, who just went off for a few years, and when they come back, they will have to start from scratch
Okay.
and even struggle.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day,
So, Papa, I like that. So, what actually could be the reason, why they would have to start from the scratch?
Scratch, yeah.
After all that you've built, what
Yeah.
actually could be the reason?
Yeah.
Right.
Is it they lost a relationship with God, or they still have a relationship with God, but probably maybe, because when you read Exodus, maybe
Feel free.
you
Oh, feel free.
Let's preach.
Hallelujah. When God needed the men of wisdom to build the ark or the tabernacle, he actually chose people who were wise or crafty. And when you search for the meaning of craftiness, actually it can be compared to witchcraft, not as in literal terms, but it should tell you that they were actually up to their game. So every time they were trying to look for wild ideas
stuff,
or
okay.
wild wisdom by the inspiration of the Holy Spirit or by
Yeah.
the inspiration of God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So could it be that maybe I know some people who go like, forget about the music and listen to the lyrics of the song. So even though they are not sounding nice on the music piece, they will tell you that don't pay attention to the voice, pay attention to the anointing, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So could it be that maybe there was a little bit of, let's say, I don't know if I should use the word ignorance or something.
Okay. You know what? This conversation is
I'm trying the possible best
And
not
it's
to.
even wrong to combine both of it, that you can be creative and you can as well hear from the Lord as
No,
well.
it's not actually. Actually, it's actually a fine balance between the two.
Right.
But if you lean in any direction, it's better you lean in the area of God. Because God himself is the embodiment of creativity.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so, and he gave us a beautiful brain to be able to process. So he didn't ask us to put it to sleep, but he still wants us to rely on him and to do the interpretation.
Papa, sorry.
Okay, you know what? We've got to go for our last break. let's go for our last break. Wait, TMC,
I don't know if I'm the host now, but So, oh Lord, please don't forget this. Yes. Okay, you go for the commercial.
Let me go for this one. So now we've heard from your side, like trying to balance the two, the God factor and the industry factor. If someone wants to, you've remembered, I'll come back to you. Generally, if someone just wants to stay relevant, that is part of my journey as a gospel artist, I'm not going to go off. Mine is to just be, like, in now terms, be in the faces of people. What are some of the strategies the person can put into place to make sure that that longevity is sustained? So we'll go for the break.
And then
when we come back,
you're
itching to stay. When we come back, TMZ will come in with what he wanted to say.
And then we get into the programs.
Exactly. So you're still watching Entertainment Review on Metro Television. We are going for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Okay. All right, so welcome back from the break. We've got a few minutes to wrap it up, and so we'll take our concluding remarks on the topic, and then we'll get to the programs that they have coming up. Now, I ask the question.
Yeah, about the strategies if someone wants to say, I want to be relevant for the rest of my life.
I think you used the word
to
mean that you want to be there.
Yeah.
I'll say that, first of all, invest your time in being in the face of God.
Right in it, so that when the gospel artist
invest your time in being in the face of God.
Okay.
Yeah.
I tell my friends that before you go and check Facebook or you put anything on Facebook, seek God's face.
Right.
Very, very important. Because at the end of the day, the person who will make you, give you the ideas to put there to make you trend, you have to first trend with him in his presence, in your walk with him. That is number one. Number two, after you have heard whatever God says, please be obedient to him. And then also be consistent. Be very, very consistent. And then be hardworking. I mean, when the Holy Spirit gives you some inspiration or something, it will not just happen
for you.
Yeah.
You have to be hardworking. Wake up midnight. Write the songs. Rehearse right. And then you also have to look out for the right network of people. And I would end that, like, you yourself have a very good interpersonal relationship with people.
Yeah.
When you see people and the people greet you on the bills, even if you don't know them, smile and be nice. And okay, let me keep right.
But then it seems a lot of you gospel musicians, the consistency you are talking about, we don't see a lot of that with gospel musicians. So how can
at least I can mention a few people that have been consistent. Joe Metal is a top example of that.
Right.
Ohima Mercy and Ohima Mercy is a top. Koda is MOG Co and has been consistent.
I mean, he got him back.
Hey, let me add myself.
You do. We're still talking to him.
I've been consistent.
Okay, so wrapping it up, TMC, we've got your debut concert coming up. Tell us about it.
Okay, so I'm shy. Okay, so by the grace of God, I'll be having my first ever maiden live album recording, dubbed the Mishkan concert. Okay. And Mishkan, like, simply means like the dwelling place of God.
Right.
So, and it's happening on the 30th of April.
Okay.
Time is 4 p.m. And the venue is at Action Worship Center, Dansoman Keep It Down. Action Worship Center, Dansoman Keep It Down. The time is 4 p.m.
Yeah. And
I have, by the grace of God, I have people like Empress Gifty, Minister MOG, Efe Grace, Okopi Peterson from Nigeria, all coming on board to support, and Overflow Incorporated, my very own Overflow Incorporated, and my church choir, His Temple Ministry, powered by Action Worship Center, and my Bishop, the father of the house, Bishop Nikwafio. So,
Bishop
thank you so much, Papa. What's the
Okay.
camera wherever you are?
How's it though? How's it putting that together as a very first live album recording for you?
I'm sure they're breathing out the length of everything. It has so much nerves and so much unsurety. Well, I don't know if it's unsurety, but
it's anxiety.
Anxiety,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know how it's gonna turn out.
But it's going to be fine.
Yeah, but I've seen the rehearsal in all the sessions. Yeah.
It's going to be fine.
Wow.
Yeah. You have nothing to fear.
Amen.
And
Yeah, he's a fan.
Papa EUGENE ZUTA has his concert also coming up. Well, tell us about it.
Yeah, so by the grace of God this year, April, actually on the same day.
On the same day, okay.
On the 30th of April. But we are far apart.
Okay,
So
since the
Dansoman and the Dakuman people would go to him.
Yeah.
And I'm launching my sixth album.
Seth.
Yes, at SEM, Charismatic Evangelism Ministry at North Legon on the 30th of April at 4 p.m. And the beautiful part of this is that this year I am using that album to throw light on an area of social development that I'm very passionate about.
Okay.
It's child trafficking. So I'm an advocate in the space. So I am using the album to raise funds and awareness for children that have been trafficked, especially on the Volta Lake. It's a whole another new story that we could talk about. So that night we'll do that, and then we'll use the sales we have to support the rescue of such children. And I have my elder brothers Koda and Nyokai on board. I have Kofi Kakari on board. I have Christiana Atifwa, and then I have Pastor Sheila Whitcomb of Agape House. They're all coming together, and the rest of my team, to raise that platform to the Lord.
Fantastic. So Mishkan and the Goddess. So Dakuman does one for
Yeah. So like you better check. Soon be brave. It's only about 3,000 people beer.
Jesus is Lord.
3,000 koha no enya overflow. So they're more bragging right.
Receive it in Jesus' name.
But is it free?
Yes, it is free. It's free.
And my hair is also free.
It's
always free.
It's free.
Charlie, when you even buy the tickets, you do the ticket. You do have like complimentary,
Family and friends, okay.
and you don't get the whatever. So what's the use?
Yeah.
It's
Anyways,
better to do
thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming. It's been amazing having you. This
Thank you
conversation
so
has
much.
been super. Pastor EUGENE ZUTA, of course, from back in the days. Shouts to Pastor Will Danso.
That's my
my
roommate.
senior man. My senior man from Noobs. He used to come and preach. And also TMC Musique, ladies and gentlemen.
Please add the TMC.
The TMC Musique. Young man, what you studied in school? What did you study again?
Biomedical physics.
Wow.
Interestingly, I also did biology. Wow. And I taught it for 10 years.
So there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching us at the room. And also Facebook, lots of comments today. I couldn't read all of that, but thank you so much. Big shout out to my guy Kofi Newton Clothing for my outfit. My name is Desifading the Star Boy, and I did this with
And I'm Helen Anyiweja. You can call me Helen K.
Yes, up next is News Flash, and we'll be back tomorrow sometime 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. TMC Review. Shout out to the production team. Bye bye.